He looked at her stomach, not her work, and with one cold sentence he erased her livelihood. She was pregnant. She was alone. And to him, she was disposable. But Victor Hale didn't understand one thing that day. He didn't fire a weak woman. He created the strongest competitor he would ever face. And years later, that same man would walk into her office. Not as a billionaire, but as a beggar. Lena Brooks believed in hard work. She believed that if you showed up early, stayed late, and gave your best, the world would eventually notice. She believed effort mattered. Integrity mattered. Loyalty mattered. She was wrong. At 31 years old, Lena lived in a modest Chicago apartment with her 6-year-old son Ethan. The apartment was small but carefully kept. The kind of place where the couch had a loose leg she meant to fix, where the fridge hummed loudly at night, and where every item had been chosen with intention. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was extra. Her days began before sunrise. She woke quietly, moving through the apartment like a shadow so she wouldn't disturb Ethan. She made oatmeal, packed a simple lunch, laid out his clothes, and wrote a short note she slipped into his bag every morning. "You've got this. Be kind. I love you." Then she showered quickly, dressed professionally, and stood in front of the mirror for a few seconds longer than usual. That morning, her reflection showed something new. Her pregnancy was no longer easy to hide. She placed a hand over her stomach, breathing slowly. Not fear, responsibility. A quiet promise. "I'll protect you," she whispered. Lena worked as a senior product analyst at Hale Dynamics, one of the fastest-growing tech firms in the Midwest. The company was owned by Victor Hale, a self-made billionaire praised in business magazines for his ruthlessness and speed. Victor believed empathy slowed profit. Victor believed pressure created greatness. Victor believed weakness deserved elimination. Lena wasn't weak. She had redesigned 2 major internal systems. She had flagged flaws no one else noticed. She had saved the company millions without asking for recognition. Her performance reviews were spotless. But that morning none of that mattered. Her manager stopped by her desk, eyes uneasy. "Victor wants to see you. Now." Lena felt her chest tighten. Victor didn't request meetings casually. She stood, straightened her jacket, and walked toward the glass-walled office overlooking the city. Victor stood by the window, hands clasped behind his back like a general surveying territory. He turned slowly. His eyes traveled from her face to her stomach. And he frowned. "Pregnancy slows people down," he said flatly. "This company moves fast." Lena inhaled, steadying herself. "I've never missed a deadline," she said calmly. "My productivity hasn't dropped." Victor raised a hand. "I'm not interested in exceptions," he said. "You're fired." No explanation. No warning. No conversation. Just a decision. By the end of the day, Lena walked out of Hale Dynamics carrying a cardboard box filled with office supplies, and fear heavier than anything she had ever carried before. That night, she locked herself in the bathroom and cried silently so Ethan wouldn't hear. She pressed a towel to her mouth, shaking, staring at the wall as the future collapsed in front of her. The months that followed were brutal. Bills arrived like accusations. Rent notices stacked on the counter. Groceries became smaller. Choices became cruel. Some days it was food. Some days it was electricity. Some days it was dignity. Ethan needed new shoes. Lena smiled and said, "Soon." Soon became later. Later became nothing. She worked nights cleaning office buildings that looked just like the one that fired her. She took freelance coding gigs that paid too little and ended too quickly. She accepted temporary contracts with no security. Some days she worked 3 jobs. Some nights she slept sitting up. Her pregnancy made everything harder. Her feet swelled. Her back ached. Her energy vanished. But stopping wasn't an option. There were days she skipped meals so Ethan could eat. Nights she pretended not to be hungry. Moments she stared at the ceiling asking questions she had no answers for. How long can I do this? What if I fail them both? After her daughter Maya was born, things didn't get easier. They got heavier. Sleepless nights blended into exhausting days. Ethan tried to help, bringing diapers, whispering when the baby slept. Lena watched him grow up too fast. One evening, after putting both children to bed, she sat alone at the kitchen table, staring at unpaid bills. She didn't cry. She couldn't afford the energy. But during her freelance work, she noticed something strange. Every company complained about the same thing. Hale Dynamics software. It was slow, overpriced, rigid, outdated. Clients were frustrated, but Victor ignored them. Lena didn't. She began writing ideas down, not dreams, solutions. Small fixes. Smarter systems. Platforms built for people Victor never listened to. She worked late at night, coding quietly while her children slept. Mornings became a routine of exhaustion and focus. There were setbacks. One night, a server crash erased hours of work. Lena sat on the floor and cried silently, covering her mouth so she wouldn't wake the baby. Another time, a potential client laughed when she explained her idea. "You're one person," he said. "You can't compete with a billionaire." She didn't argue. She kept working. Years passed. Slowly, something began to form. Her ideas became a prototype. The prototype became a product. The product became a company. Her first paying client was a small bakery. They needed something simple. Lena gave them something powerful. They loved it. Word spread. She hired one developer, then another, then 3 more. Money was still tight, but hope had returned. Ethan watched everything. He watched his mother struggle. He watched her fail. He watched her stand back up. At night, Lena spoke to him softly. "Life isn't fair," she said, "but it listens to people who don't quit." She taught him discipline, patience, courage, and sometimes, she whispered her fears after he fell asleep. "What if I can't protect them? What if this all falls apart?" But she never stopped. Then came the pressure. A large corporation offered to buy her platform for millions. It would have solved everything overnight. Lena refused. Not out of pride. Out of purpose. She believed in what she was building. The next year nearly broke her. Systems crashed hours before launches. Bugs appeared minutes before investor calls. A trusted employee quit during the worst possible week. There were nights she stared at her screen until sunrise, hands shaking, heart racing, wondering if she had pushed too far. But each challenge sharpened her. Quietly, Victor Hale's empire began to crack. Clients left. Profits dipped. Employees whispered. Victor blamed the market. Victor blamed his staff. Victor never blamed himself. Then one report changed everything. "There's a new platform outperforming us in every sector." Victor demanded a meeting. He expected arrogance, inexperience, someone he could crush. He didn't expect Lena Brooks. She stood calm, confident, composed. Ethan sat quietly in the corner, older now, watching history repeat itself. Victor didn't recognize her at first. "Impressive work," he said. "We'd like to discuss a buyout or employment." Lena looked at him. "You fired me when I was pregnant." The room froze. "You said pregnancy was a weakness," she continued. "This company exists because of that moment." Victor opened his mouth. She raised a hand. "You don't need a job here," she said gently. "You need to understand something." She met his eyes. "You lost because you underestimated me." She declined the offer. Not out of anger. Out of dignity. As Victor left, Lena stood by the window, looking out over the city that once terrified her. Hard work hadn't paid off quickly, but it paid off completely. That night, Ethan hugged her tightly. "Mom," he said, "we really did it, didn't we?" Lena smiled through tears. "Yes, baby. We did it together." If you're a single mother watching this, being overlooked doesn't mean you're powerless. Struggle is temporary. Growth is permanent. And sometimes the greatest revenge is living well.